Last time on Square Roots. Long, long ago, a tiny hamlet known as Kamiki lay nestled in a grove of proud and beautiful cherry blossoms. Each and every tree around the quiet burg was honored as a god. However, the village was not without its dark secrets. Ōkami!
Hey everyone, and welcome to Square Roots, the classic RPG podcast. My name is Jim Banks. I'm joined by Matthew Van Zandt.
Second recording. This is the second recording. Alert. Alert. Don't let them fool you. Every joke will be canned. John deleted his entire track. We recorded the whole episode. John deleted it. He gave me middle fingers. That's why I'm selling him out. Alert. Second recording. Wait, what was my joke from last time? Live from Florida, we're Square Roots. Yay.
Speaking of John, also joined by John Orochi Brandon.
John track deleted Brandon.
From Florida, the champagne of Peninsulas.
That joke didn't land again!
Second recordings are always tough because we're really harsh on each other. It just sucked the first time.
Also joined by Vanessa.
Pop the bubbly, it's Florida time.
We're all in Florida.
Oh, I wish. I was in the chat this week. I was like, when is SquootsCon? We want party. And by we, I mean me. And by party, I mean a vacation. And you guys can come or not. I'm pretty neutral on that.
Is it still SquootsCon if only you go?
Yeah.
That is a traveling SquootsCon.
Everywhere I go is SquootsCon, a party of one.
Oh, geez. Well, I guess I should explain again that this is a podcast where we play and talk about your favorite classic RPGs, one chunker at a time. And we are still playing...
We're not
I say
still
because I already explained this once. Yeah, it's a joke with multiple layers. We are playing Ōkami.
Ōkami! The O with the little line on top of it means that you say it for longer. Ōkami.
Oh.
Ōkami.
Ōkami.
Ōkami is a game developed by Mr. Nintendo, personally.
Nope.
In the vein of his famous Zelda
Clover
Roots games that
Studios.
Mr. Nintendo makes.
Hideki Kamiya.
Ōkami is a visual novel.
Pretty much.
The problems that I have a lot of problems with this game, but most of the problems that I have are tied to the era and the fact that was when video games had to literally hold your hand like a little toddler for everything.
I want to have my hand held.
And I just find it kind of unplayable.
I think it gets better.
It does. The more you get to play the game, the better it is. Yeah. And the less that people talk, the better it is.
Hey, lads, it's not time to talk about Ōkami. It's time to talk about hot gaming news.
Whoa.
That's true. Save it for the Ōkami segment.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's what we were in the middle of before John realized that he farted and broke his track.
True.
Mm-hmm. I must have hit the stop record button. Or you? Oh, maybe use the wrong mouse. I have two mice here, and one's for my recording, and I probably use the other mouse. I'll move this.
John, have you checked to make sure that you are recording?
Yes, I'm looking at it. There's my little voice track.
Has everybody else checked to make sure that they're recording?
Oh shit! Mine didn't restart.
He's lying. He's a liar.
I'm lying.
Oh, okay.
I'm a liar.
We've all done it, and I won't cotton to you picking on poor Johnny. This hasn't happened in a long time because we've gotten better at podcasts, but it does happen, and that's just the nature of the beast.
I think the last two times it's been me.
I want you to retake that without saying cotton picking.
Oh wow! Yeah, let's try that again, Vanessa.
Oh, I didn't even pick up on that. Wow. Wow. That's not
Yeah, that was a real Vanessa hot mic moment.
not part of my normal vernacular, I don't think.
All right, so Vanessa,
either.
take 2.
Wait just a ding-dang minute.
Much better.
I don't like you.
Wait, what?
Oh, I'm
Going
sorry
after Johnny
for
like
deleting my
this.
track, Vanessa.
Wait. Okay, third try. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Square Roots, the classic RPG podcast.
Uh-huh.
I'm Vanessa, and here's your hot gaming news.
All
That
right,
was
hot
an
gaming
excellent
news on,
intro to Hot
on
Gaming
the
News, and I
10s.
think that's how it should be every week.
Yes. It is like she's a traffic reporter.
Yeah. Today was
Jim.
D23, and there was a lot of hot gaming news out of that. Did y'all hear about that Tron game?
Tron Bond?
Yeah, but only because you told me before John's track crashed.
Oh.
Okay, well,
All right.
I don't know how we do this segment if we're just gonna talk about.
That's-
I know. I'll stop. I'll stop.
Jim, why don't
poking
you tell me about
God.
Sassy Screeds?
Assassin's Creed.
What? No, we're talking about Tron.
Yeah, Matt's talking about Tron.
Oh, sorry.
There's a Tron game. That's all I have to say.
It's
It's
a
called-
visual
what's it
novel.
No, I don't have all the stories up anymore.
Oh.
Wouldn't that be the worst format for a Tron game ever?
I think it is a visual novel. I wasn't joking.
No.
Yeah, it said Tron. There's a Tron visual novel, Tron Identity, coming next year.
It actually is a visual novel?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
He's lying.
Tron Identity is a visual novel adventure following Query, a detective program tasked with uncovering the mystery of what was taken and by whom.
Its name is Query?
Yeah, Query is the detective. He's super
Don't like
gay.
It's not a common gay name.
Query?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a pun.
On what?
So it's a visual novel with puzzle game elements and stuff.
Oh,
All right, well,
I get it. Query.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Get it?
She got there eventually. Vanessa's
Yeah.
the champagne of peninsulas.
I'm the champagne of women. I'm just sitting
Just
here
like,
waiting
just
for
like
someone to
Miller
pop
High
my
Life is the
cork.
champagne of peers.
Oh,
That was the
Jim
original
called it
reference I
Miller
was
High Life.
making. I was comparing Florida to Miller Lite.
Miller High Life.
Highlights. Sorry.
Well, I went out today and I drank too much, but the person I was with ordered a Bud Light, and I was like, Pikachu
Wow.
face, shock.
Did John Madden come in with like a light bulb and be like,
Yeah.
this is a light?
Wow, when did you guys become like alcohol snobs?
Bud Light is legitimately the most disgusting beer.
It's fine.
You drink IPAs.
Yeah, I've
You
drank
shut your
some
mouth.
sour
I
ass
go to
IPAs that were way worse than
non-IPA
Bud
beer.
Light.
It's definitely a Miller Lite, so I don't know. You shouldn't listen to me, but Bud Light grosses me out for some reason. It's just sugar water. It's not
just
beer,
sugar
it's
water.
yeast flavored water with alcohol added.
Ooh, that sounds pretty good.
Yeah, if they would market it like that, maybe they could. Anyway. All right.
Today at the gym, I took a drink of what I was told was aminos and collagen. I
Gross.
wasn't sure if and didn't taste very good.
I wouldn't have said no thank you to that description.
Well, I was like
poisons?
walking by a tray of these things, and I was like,
I see.
"What is this?" And they're like, "Oh, it's aminos and collagen." And I was like, "Bottoms up."
Gross. Hey, speaking of bottoms up, there was some Assassin's Creed news as well.
Yeah, tell us about this bottom-having Assassin's Creed news. Jim.
Okay. There were some Assassin's Creed announcements. What's the current Assassin's Creed game called, Vanessa? Assassin's
Valhalla.
Creed
Valhalla.
Valhalla. Yeah, there's a DLC for Valhalla coming out that is free.
Oh, wow.
That will end that game.
Thank God.
Yeah,
to know
finally.
that you-
Our long national nightmare.
Get to have an into that game.
They also announced the long-rumored Assassin's Creed set in Japan that is codenamed Assassin's Creed Red. They announced that they're coming up with some kind of hub that's going to tie the narratives of all the games together.
Gross.
I don't know how they're going to do that. There's something called, well, this is previously announced, I guess, Assassin's Creed game, Assassin's Creed Mirage. And there's some other Assassin's Creed stuff. It's an Assassin's Creed world. We're just living in it.
Yep. You got your Assassins. They got their Creeds. I heard there was a fancy mobile game coming, so I guess that's exciting for people that play mobile games. I don't know those people. They're children. Children. That's exciting for children. Does anybody know anybody that plays like regular mobile games that is not a child? You know what? We probably have listeners that do.
I do. Fine. I play Covet Fashion every day.
You play what?
Covet Fashion.
I've told you about this.
Yeah.
I play Wadoku and Golf Clash.
Still playing it.
Wow.
I
Jim
play
plays
it. My
too.
friends play it. We share our hot looks with each other. We congratulate each other when we do well. Everyone's like, wow, great job on your fashion.
What's it called?
Covet Fashion.
I've played it for a little bit. I found it kind of boring.
Yeah, it is. I wouldn't... It's one of those things that I wouldn't be doing if I wasn't doing it with people who I know and like. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I don't.
Some games
I
are
have
fun
some-
to play by yourself, and some games are fun with friends.
Yeah, it's true. I have some
That's
hot
true.
gaming news.
Okay.
Would you like to hear it?
Yes.
My track is rolling.
Oh, thank
Hey, I had
God.
one more piece of hot gaming news that I'll bring up again.
Sure.
And that
Okay.
is that Games Done Quick canceled a event here. Was it Games Done Quick?
Yeah.
Yep.
Canceled an event here in Florida because of our terrible anti-gay
Champagne
laws and
Peninsulas.
spiking COVID cases.
It was a GDQ, right?
I don't know.
Awesome games done quick.
Wasn't it also because of everything else
I
in
didn't have all
Florida?
this stuff up.
Yeah, it's also because of the government of Florida.
Yep, the little dictator wannabe guy.
Yeah. Oh, little Ron DeSantis.
Well, Ronnie. It's Games Done Quick. It just says event. I don't know.
Matt has a hat now.
I think in January it's AGDQ and in summer it's SGDQ, right?
Don't ask me questions.
And then they have GDQ Femme Fatale.
why would you ever have a summer event in Florida? What a terrible idea.
Well, it was the January event that they moved.
Oh.
So it was the winter.
So, my hot gaming news, and this is a big one for Vanessa. Vanessa, are you seated and ready?
I am sat down, and
Yeah.
I feel pretty ready because, again, as we've mentioned, this is the second time I'm hearing this.
There is a DLC to Vanessa's favorite game of 2020, Cyberpunk 2077.
What?
This one's called
What?
Phantom Truth. Which
Does
sounds
this
like
tie
a
into
Metal
the
Gear game.
sweet-looking Netflix anime?
Maybe?
I don't think so.
Oh. And it's further adventures of Vanessa's boyfriend, Johnny Silverhands.
Wow.
Hooray! My best friend, Johnny Silverhand.
And you get to learn more about
Vanessa-
your best friend.
Vanessa, have you still not gotten up the guts to ask him to be your boyfriend?
Well, it's tricky because,
Oh, come on.
I mean, he lives in my
You
head.
gotta take a shot, you know?
I guess you're right. And I didn't think I loved him, but of course Johnny told me I did. And when he tells me I love someone, I guess I better just go with it because
Wow.
it's not like he's
Hang on.
choosing.
Wait,
Huh? Yes?
let's talk about this after the show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, maybe don't say that to our listeners.
It's another Vanessa Hot Mic moment.
Oh, no. This is why we don't record
what did
twice.
I say?
It's maybe John losing his track earlier was a blessing for Vanessa.
Why? Both of her Hot
All
Mic
the
moments
racial
have come
slurs she
during
had in the
this
first time.
recording.
What did I say? I didn't say anything. I just said that when Johnny tells me that I love someone, I love him.
Aw.
Didn't I?
Yeah. That is what you said.
No. Let's save this for after the show. So,
Yeah.
there's a DLC coming out.
Yeah, and Midnight Suns is getting a new release date. It's actually coming out this year. That's that
Is that the
Marvel
one
strategy game.
Like Wolverine and Ghost Rider and Daredevil,
Yeah.
maybe? Punisher?
Yeah, and Jean Grey, Iron Man, Spider-Man.
Gray.
I think so.
Iron Man and Spider-Man.
Maybe
It's
it's
just an Avengers
Scarlet
team.
Witch.
Hang on.
I guess it's Scarlet Witch.
Yeah.
That would make more sense.
Yeah, it's Scarlet Witch. Sorry. I mixed up my glowing-eyed ladies.
One of them
Don't you
is
think
supposed to
that
have a big Firebird around them, John. And one of
Yeah.
them just has
She
a
drives
kind
a
of British
Firebird?
looking
That's
red
the
evil.
coolest lady in comics ever. She's like, get out on the highway.
Oh,
Doing
man.
smoky donuts.
I'm going to tell you something right now.
Smoky
Considering
donuts.
Yep.
what's been going on in the Avengers books for the last couple of years, the likelihood that is a thing that's going to happen. Wait, I'm sorry. The likelihood that Ghost Rider is going to somehow drive the Phoenix Force around as a Firebird is probably going to happen.
That'd
It's a
be
good
cool.
chance.
would
Honestly, I
write
think you
that
should
comic.
write in to Marvel Comics and suggest it to them.
Did I ever tell you my fantasy novel idea?
Maybe?
Where wizards went to Earth and grabbed all the hot sports cars, so instead of riding horses, all the knights were riding like Camaros and Firebirds.
But how does that work without any good roads?
You know, I figured it
no,
out. Magic roads.
Sorry. Yes, magic roads.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Come
just gotta
on.
add a magic spell to them that puts the road in front of them as they drive.
Yeah. Adds an interstate system to a fantasy world.
Oh no! This is
And
quickly
where are they
turning
going
into
to get their
Bright.
gasoline?
Oh shit! Magic.
Magic. Anyway. So, yeah, that's it for hot gaming news, I think. Unless Vanessa has a piece of HGN she wants to share.
I sort of do, but it's really more of a level up.
I have a piece of hot gaming news that I want to talk about. Did you guys hear about this new Disney game?
Wait, what? How dare you? You know very well
You
that's my
can't
hot
do
gaming
that.
news
Hey,
slash
Vanessa.
level up.
Vanessa, how did you level up?
Well, I've been playing Dreamlight Valley on early access. Dreamlight Valley is the Disney Animal Crossing Harvest Moon sort of adjacent game. It will be free to play, but at the moment, if you want to play early access, you do have to pay your money and take your chances.
How much
is
of
it?
money?
It depends.
What?
How
You-
many monies?
Depends on your adjusted gross income on your previous tax return.
Correct.
Depends on whether or not you have a valid Florida driver's license and a Disney pass.
It depends on if you have a subscription to Disney Plus.
It depends on
Depends on
whether or
what
not
ending
you're a
for
Disney
Kingdom Hearts
Vacation
you got.
Club member.
If
Wait,
you
how much did you pay?
You can pay. There are 3 tiers, and you have to purchase one of them in order to play it at the moment. I think that the cheapest one is around $30.
Okay.
And all the way up to $70 for the most expensive one.
Is that the one?
And-
Now, is that most expensive one because it comes with the most Disney bucks or the most content?
It comes with the most sort of bonus content, I guess you could call it. Their idea is that all that you'll be paying for are aesthetic features, essentially.
Okay. I mean, that's. I
So-
think that's a decent. I think that
Yeah, it's like the PUBG
getting
model,
people to pay for
essentially.
aesthetic stuff is okay. Like, you are making that fucking choice.
So I think, interestingly, it is cross-platform, except for on the PlayStation. But you can cross-platform it with Xbox or your computer or your Switch.
Oh, wow.
And I'd say it's a little bit buggy at the moment. They're still working things out. Full disclosure, here we go. I am friends with someone who moderates the Discord community, though she is not paid to do so.
Well,
But,
why would you work for free?
I don't
For Disney.
know.
They can afford to pay her.
So, it has this community already that's sort of coming together to help each other out when encountering bugs and things like that. Oh, yes, I'm sorry. The official prices now that I have here, $30 American for the standard Founders Pack, $50 for the deluxe, or $70 for the Ultimate Founders Pack. Yeah.
Which one did you buy?
I don't want to say or
Okay.
talk about that.
So not
Wow. we know where she went.
Yeah. No.
So I've been playing that, and it's pretty fun. But as has been discussed on here before, I am into Animal Crossing and Harvest
But what
Moon
is
kind
it?
of things.
Please
Can you
describe
grow
this game to
crops?
us.
I saw her
Please
flirting with
describe
Goofy.
game.
You
He
start
was
the
trying
game.
to yuck me. You start the game. You make a person. One thing I really enjoyed is that their character creator is not gendered at all. So you just choose the aesthetic and the name. And it is not attached to any particular pronouns. So you can kind of be whatever you want to be. I like this game very much because I made a Vanessa. And then the game starts like many Harvest Moons do, with you moving to the countryside. You fall asleep
Eat a lot of
and
peaches.
you wake. You eat
What
a
is
lot
your
of peaches.
character model? May I ask what your character model looks like? And I mean, like, is it a cartoon? Is it The Sims? What is it?
It looks like
It looks like a Pixar character.
it
Don't
looks
ask
like a
you.
Pixar character. It looks like
Sir?
a Disney person. It looked like a me.
I thought Vanessa's character looked like a Pixar mom.
It looked like me, but a Pixar mom.
So it looks like Pixar characters.
It looks like Pixar characters.
That's exactly what we just said. So yes.
Yes, they're human, but Pixar-y or Disneyfied.
Yeah. Like that Pixar filter.
You encounter Merlin right away, and he's like, "Hey, Vanessa, you're the most magical, special person in the world." And I'm like, "I know." And he's like, "Help save Dreamlight Valley." So you're in this town. It's all overrun with thorns and darkness, and your job is to clear them away and restore the town. And as you do, you meet fun new friends like Mickey Mouse and Remy the Rat and Goofy.
Everybody loves
I
Goofy.
think his name's Ratatouille.
What about... Hang on. Do you meet Goofy but no... Donald?
I haven't yet, but he has been mentioned.
I don't know that I can handle Goofy and Donald apart anymore.
Well,
Now,
that's the tragedy
they're
of
too
this
cemented.
game.
Yeah.
Goofy even said to me, "Have you seen my friend Donald? He's gone missing." It's so sad.
Really?
Is Clarabelle Cow there?
He's probably with
Not
Sora.
as of yet, but I hope that she will be because I love her.
God, I want some
That would
Final
be
Fantasy.
Moo Arvelous.
Well, how would you feel if Sora got
God.
introduced via DLC?
Not great. And I don't want him around.
Really?
I don't want to take care of a little boy. I want to take care of cartoon friends.
right.
One thing that I like about this game very much is that the characters are height proportional to you as an adult human. So, like,
Okay.
Goofy is taller, but Mickey is shorter. Merlin's about the same height. I really enjoy that.
Okay.
Remy is rat-sized. I just think it's cool.
I agree.
Characters appearing the size that they should appear.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Well, that sounds
think
pretty
it's
interesting. Is there
neat.
any sort of combat or anything like that, or is it just...
No, it's like farming, fishing, crafting, that kind of thing.
Gotcha.
You can plant lots of carrots. You can decorate
love
your
carrots.
house. You can meet Mickey Mouse in
I've played
Dreamlight
Animal
Valley.
I understand what's happening. Here.
Are you leveling up right now, or are we still on hot gaming news?
A little
She's
bit of
leveled up.
both.
Okay.
If you want a pure level up, I can offer you that.
Sure.
I watched a show
Yeah.
called The Box. Bum, bum,
Is it the one with
bum.
James Marsden?
No, James Marsden is not in it. This is a show where they're kind of like these 6 ordinary families, and one day they receive a box, and it sits like in their living room, and it's glowing green, and they have to sit there and look at it and basically stand vigil over this box until it turns red, and then they have to hit it right away and do whatever it tells them to do. It gives them like assignments of things to perform, and interestingly, the voice of the box is Alex Horn, who is the creator of Taskmaster.
What?
And what it gives them is tasks. This is a British
What?
reality show about ordinary families doing tasks, and it's called The Box.
Huh. He had one idea, huh?
Yep,
Yep.
but it was a doozy.
Wow. I feel betrayed. You know?
You didn't
Deep
think it
in
was
my
going
heart.
to Taskmaster,
I
and
feel
yet.
fucking betrayed.
This is
I'm
not Taskmaster.
surprised
This
the
is
Disney
The
thing didn't turn
Box.
into Taskmaster.
The Box
that's
is
true.
a entirely different thing, where it gives you tasks.
Oh my god. Tasking boxing.
Is the music by the horn section?
You know what, Johnny? I'm not actually sure about that one, but it is directed by Andy Devonshire, director of Taskmaster. And that's how I leveled up The Box. It's okay. I wasn't going to watch it. I didn't want to watch it. I watched it. It's okay. Johnny, how did you
I-
level up? Oh,
I went to a movie theater and saw a
Oh.
film directed by the famous director of Mad Max Fury Road and Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome and Babe Pig in the City. His name is George Miller, and he directed a film called 3,000 Years of Longing. And it's got Tilda Swinton?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And she's got a severe bob. That's, I feel whenever I picture her, she's got a severe bob. Was Tilda Swinton in Lord of the Rings? Or is that the
No.
other one? Okay. I always mix her up. Can't remember who played like that queen, the super powerful one.
Kate Blanchett.
That was Kate
I
Blanchett,
mixed,
yeah.
I mixed those two up.
She played Galadriel.
Yeah. Anyway, so her and her Bob find a genie, and it is about her feeling saddled with the wishes and wanting to get rid of the genie because she doesn't need. She's very satisfied and happy with her life, and it's all about stories. The genie tells her stories of his previous owners, and there is some uncomfort that they don't really directly address about the racialness of having a black genie and the whitest, I think, possible owner. I don't know if you can actually, other than maybe Kate Blanchett, I don't know if you can get whiter than Tilda Swinton.
I think Tilda Swinton's wider than Kate Blanchett.
Do you think on the scale? Okay.
Yeah,
But
just a few shades at least.
he does talk about his previous owners, some of whom are pretty famous, like the Queen Sheba. Is that it? The most beautiful woman in the world? Is that right? And so it's like a sort of 1001 Arabian Nights kind of story. Like he tells a bunch of different stories and you learn about his past, and it's a really fun movie. It's got
That's cool.
a cute chubby boy and his large assortment of large chubby women, and it treats them relatively nicely, and it's got a lot of interesting casting, and it's the first movie I've seen set during COVID times where it just is like, yep, this is what life's like right now. Like, some people are wearing masks at this convention, and the airport, everyone's wearing masks, and it's like, oh yeah, this feels like a not exploitative or weird like COVID drop. It's just, this is the reality of when the film was made. And I think that's interesting. George Miller, great filmmaker, gorgeous movie, really good special effects. If you want to see some very good special effects, I would recommend this film. And it's just a fun fantasy movie, good date movie maybe. And I like it. Yeah, go check that out. I've also been playing Tiny Tuna's Wonderwall. Because a cute boy I started talking to was playing it, and I was like, I want to get to know this cute boy, so I bought it to play games with him, but I also want to play it with Matthew. But Matthew and I have been busy at different times and unable to play games with each other right now. And I got introduced again. I should talk about this. Mel Gidroich, who is maybe the most wonderful woman on television. That's right, I was watching a certain show with contestants.
God damn it.
Where they have to complete certain tasks. That's right. The Great British Bake Off. And Mel Gidroich is there, and she's so fun, and she just livens up. She like her talking to the one contestant who dumped his cake in a trash can. You really feel for her, and you feel for him. He got frustrated and made a mistake. He could have kept going in the competition, but he gave up because he didn't keep going when he could have. Anyway, so that's the one British reality task-based show we're going to talk about tonight. Jim, how did you level up?
I also saw a film in a movie theater. I saw a movie called Barbarian, which was a movie that I knew very little about going in, and I'm glad because it is.
Do you mean Twin Sitters with the Barbarian brothers?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yes, I do mean Twin Sitters with the Barbarian brothers. No, this is a horror film
with the Barbarian brothers.
I wish.
Is it Red Sonja with Arnold Schwarzenegger?
I've never
you don't
seen
feel like
that
you
movie.
should name the woman that plays the titular character?
Who is it?
I don't know. I didn't bring up Red Sonja. I've never seen that movie.
I've never seen it. I'm sorry. I've never seen any of the Conan movies.
I've never seen a Conan either.
I've seen the Conans. They're Conans.
But I saw a Barbarian, and it stars Justin
What race?
Long.
Was it a gnome? Was it like a tiefling barbarian?
If I had told you, it would be a spoiler.
Okay.
It stars Justin Long and Bill Skarsgård and Georgina Campbell.
Justin Long.
Yeah, Justin Long plays a real Hollywood scumbag in the movie, and I think he's actually pretty good in it.
Yeah.
It does seem like a role he's born to play. That's why everyone wanted to buy a PC after those horrible commercials.
Yeah. I was online today, like reading news articles, and I kept getting advertisements for Justin Long's podcast. It's like, I'm not gonna listen to this. But anyways, the movie's really good. It's so you can almost break the movie out into like 4 or 5 really distinct sequences that are all really, really well done. And I just enjoyed the heck out of it. It was gory and fun and like had me jumping out of my seat a couple times. I thought it was real good with some cool makeup effects, and like when all the big reveals happen, I don't know. The movie's not really about the reveals. It's just about how the movie kind of continually ratchets up the tension and the craziness of it. It's so fun. Go and see it. Matt, how did you level up?
Hey, I saw a movie called Freaky.
Oh yeah, you
I've been
watched
wanting
it.
to
It's
see
so
that
good,
so
right?
bad.
It's so good.
It was all right.
Aw.
I liked it.
It was pretty good. I liked it a lot. It is a mashup of a Friday the 13th and a Freaky Friday. That is the concept. Vince Vaughn and a young woman whose name I don't recall. And, the first 20 minutes of the movie I didn't need, for the most part.
Oh, it has a fun kind of cold open with a bunch of teenagers getting
Yeah, it does. I didn't find
killed.
him as like a serial killer Jason-esque
Oh,
character
me either.
particularly like effective. And I just don't really like. I get that it's like an homage, and they're intentionally like, look, it's Jason basically, but like, fucking do something with it. That's not interesting.
Yeah, I wish they would have made, like, because Vince Vaughn is a big guy. Like, I wish they would have made him a little bit more imposing.
They do a lot with it, once the movie gets rolling, and Vince Vaughn is now playing a 16-year-old girl.
He fucking nails it too. Oh my gosh,
it's great. And the woman playing the teenager who now has to play Vince Vaughn basically, she doesn't talk a lot because that's the character, not because of the actress. But she really does do a great job, like turning on a dime into this. She's tiny, but she's like intimidating and has a big presence. And it's cool. And again, Vince Vaughn playing a 16-year-old girl was fucking delightful.
There's a scene between him and a teenage boy where they're talking about how they have a crush on each other, and it's played so straight, like Vince Vaughn is actually, or like this kid sees Vince Vaughn as a 16-year-old girl, but it's Vince Vaughn, and they're like this far from each other, and you think they're going to make out. It is wild.
And they do make out. They
do make out.
Oh, God.
But one of the things I liked about it is it's so good with its characters. Like, the older sister who's a cop is maybe the worst cop I've ever seen in a movie.
Come on.
I for the first half of the movie was like, so it's drunk mom, cop mom. And then at one point she called her sister, and I was like, oh, shit. How the fuck was I supposed to know that this was the sister? She looks the same age as, she did. She looks much younger than the mother. But, you know, who knows relationships? I didn't know what was going on. Overall, I really enjoyed it. The comedy aspects were better than the horror aspects, I think. And
I thought the kills were good.
I mean, that's a Jim perspective. I don't feel the same way about kills in horror movies, you know? Like, I don't know why everything's got to be Saw-level gore these days. I don't love it. I don't mean to sound like
I hate the Saw movies.
Like a crotchety old man, but like... It's
see
it's
a version
every
of The
horror
Boys
movie. Like,
without gore.
It gets a little...
like a goreless boys series.
Yeah, you know what? The Boys would be fine without the horrible gore. I just don't know when terrible, gross gore became like, not just like acceptable, but 100% mainstream.
Gore can be fun,
Gore
I think.
can
Like,
be
there's
fun,
a
but it's
difference
everywhere,
between
and
like
I'm
cruel
sick
gore.
of that shit.
Yeah.
I'm sick to death of it, and I didn't need it here. But also my big complaint was that the horror side of it, the like slasher aspect of it was just not, it was just boring. Like, they just had the idea and didn't do anything with it on that side, and that made it made that aspect of it kind of lame. But most of the movie is like fun hijinks, and that is where it really shines, and that is why it is well worth watching. And the end was kind of weird, but I liked it. I
kind of had two endings.
It did, and I wish that it would have stopped at the first one. It was fine. We did not need to go back and run everything back for 5 more minutes, and I was more than ready to turn that shit off by then.
That final line of the movie, though, that they give the main character, like, made me want to cheer. It's so funny, and such a great callback to, like, the beginning of the movie. It's fantastic. Movie also has a really menacing Alan Ruck.
Yeah, he's not menacing. He's, like, the most misogynistic, worst teacher you can imagine. And the sad thing is that that's probably, as much as the movie thinks that's an exaggeration, is probably a very real person all over the fucking country, you know? So, yeah. Kind of a bummer. But he did get his. Anyway, who is left? Jim, did you get a chance to level up?
I did.
Oh, yeah, you talked about Barbarian. I think that's everybody.
Let's talk about Ōkami.
Yeah, we need to talk about our history with the game.
Yeah. First, I should mention, it was something from the original episode, but our first
Jesus, how are we 40 minutes into this recording
That's
now?
pretty good. That's pretty
Yeah, it is.
good.
I feel like we're
all things considered.
chopping
Yeah.
along.
Yeah. So I just wanted to say I learned about our queen's passing from a meme that Vanessa posted in our group chat. I woke up,
I'm
first
John
thing I
leveled up
saw.
by having his fucking world shattered by Vanessa mocking him with fucking memes.
Yep.
Oh.
It was her with a sword saying, "This isn't even my final form." That's how I learned that the leader of my country and the Commonwealth had died. And we now have King Charles III.
I heard she was in the hospital in the morning and Vanessa was like, the queen's gonna die today. And I was like, oh.
Oh, wow.
She was right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, everyone was wearing black ties on the BBC, and all the royals had been rushed to Balmoral. So, yeah, it was pretty evident she wasn't going to make it. Anyway.
How do you feel about having a king now? You've had a queen your whole life.
Well, all my money is now worthless. I have to go trade it in for Chuck Bucks.
Yeah, Chuck Bucks.
When
Gotta get those
do
Chuck
I
Bucks.
get my new Chuck Bucks? Yeah.
Yeah. Is
It's-
that how it
you know,
works?
honestly,
I mean, I know that your
yeah.
money is not worthless now, but do they start printing money with his face on it now?
Yeah, and my mom
Probably
was
after
saying...
he's like coronated, right?
He was
yes,
coordinated
which was today. Yeah.
Oh, that was
And
today.
My mom
Charles
says
the
that
Third.
That shit was quick.
on all
that's how it goes,
coinage
Jim.
and bills, he will be facing the left, while Queen Elizabeth faced the right. And I asked, "Oh, why is that?" Then my mom didn't answer, so I have no idea.
And then because
why.
if you fold the bills and put them next to each other, it looks like they're kissing.
Oh, royalty mommy porn? No, thank you.
How does your mom feel about it?
I don't want to talk about King Charles. There's already people have already been bringing up all of his scandals, and there's a lot.
Oh, I
He
did. Yeah,
seems to be
remember
a
the one
pretty
I
gross
brought up in
dude.
the group chat, Jim or Matthew? Never mind. I won't mention it on the podcast. He just said a very interesting thing once. So yeah, that's the monarchy. But Ōkami, how did everyone start?
What
Has
game?
anyone
Who
played
made this?
Ōkami?
What system was it on? What year did it come out? Wikipedia.
2005. Well, you don't need, I can tell you without looking at Wikipedia. It was made by Clover Studios, which was a subsidiary of Capcom. And they made such games as Beautiful Joe
Really?
and this, and I think Piano 3.
Oh.
and
Didn't they also do
then
Joe Danger? I liked that game.
no, that was like an American studio.
Yeah, you're probably right.
I don't think that a studio would make Beautiful Joe.
Wonderful 101.
And
Yeah, that makes sense.
But that was Platinum. So I
And
was going to say,
Bayonetta. But that's Platinum games,
yeah, Clover closed
That's right,
and then
Clover-
reformed as Platinum
Gotcha. Gotcha.
and made
Hey,
Wonderful 101.
So 2005. What system did this come out on?
PS2 originally, and then I think 2 years later there was a Wii release, and then eventually a PS3 HD version, and then now it's on
I
Switch
remember
and PC
Okami
and
HD.
everything.
Yeah, I'm playing
I
like
bet
a
this game would have
360 version for sure.
Oh, interesting.
I think
There was no-
fuck,
there's
I'm
no
listening.
360
I'll look it
version.
up. Then why?
Oh,
How am I
okay.
playing it on my Xbox?
There's an Xbox One version.
It's probably the HD version.
Yeah, it released in I
Uh,
think 2014, 2016.
Do you guys think this game would have been better on Wii?
No,
Considering the
I
drawing
played
mechanics?
it on Wii and it was
it's
garbage.
bad.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, it's
Oh, it was trash?
because
Oh.
the combat you have to to do your regular slash, you have to shake the Wiimote, and it was
Oh, ew.
awful.
I don't like that. Yeah.
and it
Yeah,
wasn't like motion
everything
plus
on
or
the
anything.
Wii was bad, except for fucking
Agreed.
everything except for fucking
Wii Sports.
bowling.
Paper Mario.
Bowling was amazing.
I love. You know what?
Wii
I
Sports
think
was
like
fucking fantastic.
Little King Story is great. There's a lot of good games on the Wii, but I think ones
Also,
that
it was so
used-
ugly. Such an ugly era.
Yeah.
I like the Wii. Anyway, Zack and Wiki's great. Another Capcom game.
I've played it. It's garbage. It's on the Wii.
Wow. So there is, I played it. So my boyfriend got it in 2005. I watched him play through pretty much the whole thing. I thought it was gorgeous. We were like, wow, look at these graphics. Graphics will never get better than this game ever. It was a great.
And it still is. It's got a lot of pretty colors and stuff, and like a lot of like neat artwork, but like it's so muddy. Like things literally like are double and triple on screen sometimes and stuff. And I get that that's like intentional, but I hate it, and I think it looks terrible.
I think this game is gorgeous. Anyway, Matthew, so you played it first on Wii?
I played it on the Wii, and I didn't like it. I don't know.
It's not a good version of the game.
I mean, for sure. It's, it's definitely more playable on the Xbox, for sure.
The only good thing is it's easier
but
to use the Celestial Brush on Wii.
I really don't know. I don't know. Using the analog stick and hard, and the Wiimote was not very good, I don't want to be Mr. Negative, Mr. Guy, but yeah, that was a good one.
Mr. Negative, Mr. Guy.
Yeah, not a big fan of this game going into it, is my point.
So he's not a big fan. So he's not a big fan.
He's not a big fan.
Yeah.
I like the concept of but well, whatever. We'll get into it when we get into the game.
Has Vanessa played this game before?
Yes.
Really?
Ooh.
Yes.
Tell us
Well, I can't because I don't remember.
What?
I know I've played it. I know I didn't finish it. I don't think. I don't know why I stopped playing it because I remember liking it. I don't know.
I got about halfway through. I've never finished this game. This is definitely on my bucket list. Well, not bucket list. What do you call that? Backlog. List of games I gotta finish. I don't need to finish it before I die. I'd be fine if I didn't finish it before I died. But
I'd be fine if we didn't finish it on the show.
Wow.
I got real frustrated after about 4 hours today when I felt like 3.5 of those were slowly crawling text cutscenes of no importance at all.
Oh, buddy.
Well, it is Square Roots canon that whenever there's text on screen.
Oh, no.
So I understand why this would be a tiring game for you to play, Matt.
There's so much text.
I don't like that
Matthew.
it's Square Roots canon that I have a reading disorder. It's not.
Disorder.
That's a word for it.
Matt, do you remember what we're talking
I
about?
don't think he does.
I will say, Vanessa, it is true that like I do feel like this game is like it
Horny.
like rubs
Just
my
horny.
ADHD wrong. You know what I mean? Like I get
It rubs
itchy
it wrong, huh?
while I play this game.
Yeah.
Yes, it
Yeah.
fucking really bugs me. Like
Yeah.
the real long cutscenes that you can't even like
Long,
speed the words
hard.
up. You have to wait for them to load.
They're so-
in what
they just edge
it's
you.
just like keeping you on edge. the
Yeah,
whole
I
time.
know. It's like, man, you just want to get on with it and move on. Won't let you.
It's
Till
teasing
it
him.
starts to itch and
It's like kind of denial.
yeah. I mean, if only
It's like
there was-
it's frustrating, but it's also kind of hot. It's
if only there was some sort of like
Wait, what?
I don't know, like a lubricant. to-
Matt, do you not remember that it's Square Roots canon that every time there's on-screen text, you compulsively masturbate?
That's right. Jesus Christ. Stop asking me if I remember things like I remember every stupid joke we make.
My
I don't.
favorite joke.
They're not that funny.
So this game really chafes you, is what you're saying.
Really rubs me the wrong way.
And like it's cool at first, but
Yeah.
And eventually, you just have to get things done during the day.
Yeah.
You don't have
Yeah,
time
it's
to
hard
be
to
sitting
walk
there.
the next day.
I
real
legitimately had
sore.
to play this game for like 6.5 hours today to get caught up.
no,
How?
it's so hot.
It's not that long.
It is that
It's
long.
not that long.
It is that long.
It is
All right.
I think I have a little over 4 hours in the game, and I got through
don't.
the end of the forest boss.
You definitely don't. Go look again.
So, Jim, have you played
Yes.
Ōkami before?
I've definitely heard of Ōkami, but I have never attempted to play it. I am a little baby fresh eyes.
Oh,
Did somebody
sorry.
say little baby fresh
Oh
eye?
God!
It's me.
Oh,
Oh, it's
no.
been a long time, boys, but I'm back.
I
no.
would like one of our listeners to please draw little baby fresh eyes. I want like
Dying a terrible
big,
death so that we can all
a
agree
huge,
that it's over
like a
and that we don't
little
have to do this
baby
anymore.
surrounded by sparkles with giant eyes.
And then Matthew crying in the
Contro-
corner.
Matthew crying in the corner. I want a controller in one hand. What else? I guess that's good.
Yeah. Whatever you want.
Maybe maybe some gamer fuel in a bottle.
Yeah, G Fuel.
next to the baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I love to drink my game of
All right.
fuel from my little
Can't-
bottle.
Okay. So
I'm gonna
let's
black
start the quest log.
All right, let's do it.
There is a journal in this game, but it's just called journal, so it doesn't have a fun name.
Oh, can I? A big issue I had. I'm just going to be upfront with this. Big issue that I had with the game. Do you guys know how to bring up the options menu? Because the only way I figured it out was I had to go to the home screen on my PS5 and then
Select.
back into the game,
Hit
and that
select.
was the only. There's no select button
it's
on the PS5
on the
controller.
P-
on the
It's
PS5, you have to use the left side of the touchpad.
Yeah, it's a touchpad.
That's how you do the options menu.
That's
Yeah.
I
insane.
That
No,
is
it's not. They use
insane.
you always use. They use the touchpad for the menus all the time.
What are you talking about?
You have
like
to use
the left side of the touchpad?
The
Yeah,
right
the
side
touchpad
is start,
has sides. It's not new.
and the
Well, I
left
know it
side,
has sides, but
and that's
I
how you
didn't
can
like that.
I like increasing the paper look. So is everyone playing this
Yeah.
on PS? I think Matthew's playing on Xbox.
I'm playing on the
PS5.
Xbox.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. And
No,
I
you're playing on.
took,
oh,
I
you're playing on PS5.
yeah, I'm on PS5. That part took so like the menu thing was crucial for me because I had to invert the camera controls in order to not want to like
Me too.
yeet myself off of a mountain.
The first thing I did was
Dying.
increase the paper effect and the camera.
I'm
Yeah.
dying for a slider for camera speed. That is what this game desperately needs.
I thought it
It's
had one.
pretty. The sensitivity feels kind of weird. Yeah.
It's slow.
Yeah.
Everything about
And it
this
just
game
kind
is
of gets
slow.
in weird. I think it like resets all the time too. It's like, no, I don't want the camera to reset. I was
Also, a
Put in-
run button would be nice.
You can attack
Yeah.
to start a dash, and once you get the
Yeah.
the dodge, you can dodge to start a dash. But yeah,
yes.
when you
And there's
when
a
you get up to
dash.
top speed, because there's like multiple levels of speed. When you get up to top speed, it's fucking great.
Yeah.
It's one of my
But
favorite
it takes
things
a
in the
minute.
game, but it takes.
But normally it
15
takes like
fucking
30
minutes to get there.
seconds. Yeah.
Everything in this game is slow.
So long
Except for
ago,
the jiggle of we'll get there.
there was a village named Kamiki. They had to sacrifice a girl every year to the dark god Orochi and his 8 heads. I guess the
That's the
heads
snake.
like drew straws.
The 8-headed snake god.
Yeah, they drew straws
Snack.
to see which head got to swallow the girl. I guess. I don't know.
Snap.
White Wolf showed up, called Shiranui. Well, the villagers called
and they
the
were
wolf
like, "We are
Shiranui.
Vampire the Masquerade."
And this was... they thought it was like a familiar of Orochi, but it wasn't, because Nagi was like, I want to stop the sacrificing because they're going to sacrifice a girl I like. So Nagi went to the moon cave and defeated Orochi with the help of Shiranui, who turned out to be a good wolf who wanted to help Nagi defeat the serpent.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Am I to believe that because going off of what we know about what's going on in the present day. That the white wolf is like a god personified, and that the warrior is kind of a goofy do nothing. Am I to believe that that's actually what happened in the past as well?
I think
this guy was actually a goofy do nothing, and the wolf actually did everything?
I think the Nagi was like a success and a cool guy, and his great grandson is his like fail son. That's my my interpretation.
I'm confused on whether or not Shiranui is a Matsusu.
I don't know that
they haven't stated it, but I think so.
No,
I'm really upset that I have to try and pronounce this guy's name the whole time because I pronounce it incorrectly in my mind.
Just say Ami.
For some reason. And
which one? Shiranui? Nagi?
No.
The other guy?
Amaterasu.
Oh, Amaterasu. Not a guy.
Can't.
Amaterasu. Lady Wolf.
Lady.
They do keep calling her Amaterasu, mother of the universe or whatever. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mother of us all.
Mother of us all. That's what they say. All the 13 constellation, not Chinese, Japanese zodiac folks that show up.
Is that what these are? Is this the Japanese zodiac? Okay.
I believe so. So all this game is like Bible
It's very much
stories.
Japanese like folklore and whatnot.
This is their like
sure.
Shinto folklore.
Yeah.
Doesn't Shinto have like hundreds of gods though?
I think so, and these are just the 13 constellation gods.
But Shinto, like a lot of pantheon, there's like big gods. Who is Shinto the one with the person that dripped this? Yeah, it is, because he has the spear and he pulls the spear out of the water and the drops fall off and become the Japanese islands.
Yeah.
It said there are 8. They said there are 8 million divine spirits or gods recognized in Shinto.
That's great.
Wow.
But it's
That's a lot.
It's like everything.
Like deliberately large to be synonymous with infinity. I don't know that they're all named.
Oh, okay.
I mean, the idea. Well, I don't know. I don't want to speak on it. I don't fucking have any.
Amaterasu does show up, I believe, in some of the Shin Megami Tensei and Persona games. I think as one of the personas, like one of the demons things. I feel like but here she shows up in the form of a white wolf with red markings. But in a second,
is in Persona 4 Golden.
Oh. So, Nagi's sword. So, Nagi defeats Orochi. The wolf helps, but then the wolfie dies after. Nagi brings the doggy back to the village, and doggy dies, and they make a cute statue. And then Nagi's sword, Tsukuyomi, was placed in the moon cave, sealing Orochi in there forever. Except, 100 years later, someone who looks very familiar, if you've noticed later, steals Tsukuyomi, and then Orochi starts waking up and says, say the magic words that you love evil, and want to be friends. And whoever steals this sword just runs away and then blocks the village gate with a big old boulder. And cut to Kamiki Village.
Cut
the village
to
is
1 hour later.
Kamiki Village is cursed. There's darkness everywhere. It's all purple and bad. Purple is the bad color in this game. And Sakuya, who is a wood sprite, shows up, and she's been weakened. Jim thought she had a bangin' bod and did show us her because Sakuya is like peach themed, so she's got like a peachy chest and a peachy butt that shows through her robes, and Jim did take a still photo of it.
Lots
it doesn't even
of
show
screenshots.
through. There's like a cutout in her
like
dress
a
for
little
her
peekaboo.
butt.
That's a nice way to phrase the terrible misogyny that this game opens with.
A little bit.
It sucks because I was like, this is a game that I picked up and was like, maybe this is one of those games I could get my daughter interested in, and immediately was like, guess not. Every game's got to do it. It's crazy how far back you can go. I want to play. Start playing a new game. Finding a movie pre-2010 that does not have casual misogyny at least once.
Supergirl.
They don't exist. They don't exist. I watched Home Alone tonight with my kids and was like, Jesus Christ. You're right. Buzz's girlfriend is a dog. Jeez.
God.
How
What?
does this add to the plot?
Buzz's girlfriend is a. What is that from?
From Home Alone.
Home Alone.
Oh, wow. So, Sakuya
Buzz's
brings
girlfriend. Woof.
brings Ōkami
Still a
back to
fucking
life
great movie.
to save the world. And as she does it, she's like, wait, what's this in my robes? And out jumps a tiny wandering artist with a ladybug shell hat. I think it's a ladybug shell. It could, I think so, because it's got like little dots on it, right?
Why so
and
tiny?
This is Isun, and he's got his sword, Denko Maru. I don't know if that will be important later. He does have a sword and a brush.
It's not. Is it a sword? I thought it was a brush. It looks
He
like
has
a
both.
brush.
He specifically names his sword. He's like, "This is my sword,
okay.
Denkumaru. I will fight you, weird dog." And then he realizes the dog has magic powers.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I feel like a lot of this stuff is just going over our heads because it's really fun puns in Japanese.
Yeah, and Bible stories and stuff we haven't heard before. She does tell you
stories.
that she's Japanese Bible stories. She does tell you that she has.
That's
way
not
to
how I would call
reduce
that.
everything
Yeah.
to a
Jesus
Christian.
Christ. What
Wow.
a fucking Anglo-Western perspective,
Wow.
Johnny.
I'm canceled again.
Yeah. Who's canceled now? Not me this time.
So there's a big. She says she's kept the village safe in a big old peach that just needs to be cut down to let the village live again. But first, to get that ability, you go through a mysterious astral portal. And Isun's like, oh, that's a save point. Except he says it in 16 different paragraphs. And then you...
Gotta explain
Fine.
what everything is. You know what my
Yep.
favorite part is? This is the era of games where every time you picked up an item and explained to you what it did. Y'all remember that era?
Yeah, this is
Yeah, I'm
after
living
Legend
it.
of Zelda.
No.
Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time started this. I think Ocarina of Time, it's every
But in
time you
Ocarina
play.
of Time, it's the first time you pick it up, and in this, it's every time you pick it up.
No, it's the first time you pick it up
No.
in this game too.
There's just a lot of different ones.
Maybe that's
Especially
it.
fruit. There's a million types
Yeah.
of fruit, and it tells
They're
you
all
every single
food.
type of fruit.
You're not
Yeah.
wrong
Fill
that
your-
this comes from Zelda, but definitely like I've picked up steel sake like 15 times at this point, and it's always like, it's steel sake. It does this.
No,
and I'm
you
like,
got
that's
the steel
fuck
one,
you.
then you got the other one. There's two kinds of sake.
There's a lot
Sake.
of kinds of sake. Sake.
So, yeah. You find, then you see first, Isun shows you that he can paint a bridge to restore it because he has the magical, one of the 13 god
Yeah.
brush techniques called
Explain
restoration.
how that works. How do you paint things,
Well,
John?
Hold on, that first Isun does it with his brush.
Oh, okay.
And then you see this constellation, but it's missing a couple of stars. And then you hold
this
down
fucked me up.
R1, I think, and then
I kept trying
you
to
can
draw
go
the constellation.
Dot,
And
you
it
just
just
gotta
wants you to
dot,
dot the
little
missing
dot,
stars.
dot. Yeah.
And
And,
I kept
it turns
drawing the whole
into.
constellation, and I was getting so mad.
Did anyone else fail drawing the constellation? Jim?
No,
Vanessa
Vanessa?
probably did.
I did not. I think I remembered how
Fingers
it
go a
worked.
little doot.
I've
Yeah,
remembered
I've done this
how it
before.
worked.
I feel like the first time I played, I didn't do it right. But now I'm doing it just fine, thank you. So I dotted those stars, and it turns into a big dragonfly who's like, hey, you can get my celestial brush power rejuvenation. This is Yomigami, is the dragonfly constellation. You go to Nagi's shrine, which is held in this astral portal, and you see his sword, but it's all broken. And if you fix the sword using a technique that you have, I guess restoration, you sort of draw the shape of the sword. You also draw like a path. So I like that. You fill in this path to bring it back, and you kind of throughout this game to like fix things, you kind of draw how it should be. I really like that technique. I think it's a fun little
Yeah,
game.
and the whole game has the aesthetic of an ink painting. It's really interesting looking and beautiful, I think.
I
do
agree
think
with
that-
Vanessa.
I do think that the style of the game is gorgeous, and the colors are fantastic. But I cannot stand how fucking blurry this game is, and it's making me crazy.
Maybe Matt should fix his TV.
Maybe I should fix your fucking face. Come across the square root table and say that!
He's still got on, friends. He's still got on 120 hertz mode. Everything's so blurry all the time. You gotta turn that off.
He's
Oh,
super
that's
blurry.
so many hertz.
He's blurry.
So
Blurry and slow.
once you fix his Nagi's sword, and then look up, and there's another constellation, but it's missing a couple of stars, and you fill it out, and it's an adorable tiny little mouse named Takigami. Teaches you how to do a power slash.
Stop it.
It's a powerful
Cute.
little mouse.
It's a
With
cute
a-
little mouse.
I love this little mouse.
I like the power slash.
right-
This is the one interesting thing this game does.
So right when you get out of the cave, Issun's like, bad guys, better use your power slash to defeat them. So this game has a mechanic. And every enemy has a special way using your celestial brush, or sometimes other things, to defeat them. And if you defeat them right, they turn into demon fangs sometimes. It's not every time. That's something to remember. So these guys, to defeat them, when they turn brown, you slash them with your power slash to finish them. And you use your little combos. I like the combat of this game. I think it's really good. That's my
All
hot
right.
take.
It's very button mashy, and it's not, it's not a Zelda, but the ability to like freeze everything, flip the camera around, and like get your attack off is pretty great. And I really enjoy the game. Lets you do something that I feel like a lot of games have tried and often fail at, which is reflecting projectiles, because you can freeze everything and smack it back at them, and I really fucking like that. Like, it's really satisfying.
I like when you freeze, when you hold R1, everything turns into a scroll and it's like ink printed on a paper. It's a really cool effect, but you can still rotate the camera to get everything kind of aligned.
It's not
perfectly.
great in some spots, though. Like, I had a lot of
The vines,
problems.
I found the vines can be hard. Like trying to get,
I mean, that's
looking up to
one
get
of them
the
for
vine
sure.
stuff.
I was complaining earlier about something that happens in this chunker where, like, my circle was not good enough, I guess, and it looked fine to me. And they were like, repeat this 20-minute cutscene, and I
I've
wanted
never
to
failed a
throw
circle.
my controller through the fucking screen. I was so mad.
Did any of you fail drawing a circle? Vanessa?
Many times.
Oh,
Once
really?
or twice.
Okay, I haven't. The circle I've never failed at. So
I was
you get-
pretty young when I learned to draw a circle, but it's not the easiest thing to do with the joystick.
Vanessa's response to me complaining about this was, it's easy, it looks like this, and she put a capital O.
amazing. So you defeat these demon guys with the paper masks. They're like green, weird little imps. You go back to Kamiki Village.
They're
and
monkey
then
imps. They all look like monkeys, and they love to show you their monkey butts.
That's true.
Oh, yeah, they love flashing their butts.
Love
showing
flashing those
butts.
bare
Some of them are
butts.
fish. What were the last ones? The last
Some are
ones were
fish.
like,
You get some weird ones.
They're like flower guys.
yeah, flower.
Yeah,
guys.
those
I
like,
like the fish
weird
ones.
thing plant monsters were fucking next level.
The plant monsters are cool. I liked how you bloomed them to. Yeah, that stuff was neat. I really like the
I
combat.
liked.
I'd say it's my
there
favorite
are
part of the game.
trees in this. There are trees in this game that will throw projectiles at you, and you can freeze
Mm-hmm.
time to knock their projectiles back, and then that stuns them, and then you can use the bloom technique to make
Yeah.
them grow.
Except-
and I like that because it is a lot like being like, "Fuck you, tree! Act like a tree," and then it does.
That's the one time I had problems because when you hit them back, you have to wait till they start having question marks before you can draw the
Yep.
circle on them, or else it just goes. Eh. I'm like, no,
Yep.
this is what you want me to do, game. But you have to wait. So you get back to the village. You cut down the peach with your Ami's celestial brush, and all the villagers are statues. They're all stoned.
Ooh, creepy.
Why did they get
And
stoned?
then Issun's like, "Oh, if only you had the power of the sun god to bring the sun out, then we could save everybody." But guess what? Ami had the power of a sun god this whole time because Amaterasu is the sun god. So it didn't have to draw.
Can we really quickly talk about how Matt thought that he had played the chunker because he made it to this village?
That was so funny.
When he was like, he's like, I made it to the village with the stone people, and I was like, what the fuck is he talking about? Because I played the first part of this like 2 weeks ago.
I mean, that's why
Yeah, I
had
thought
played
he'd
it.
gotten like way further. It's like, wait, what village is that? No.
Hey, I'm sorry that I thought that the 4 hours of cutscene. I'm sorry that the hour of cutscenes felt like 5 hours of cutscenes. You know, that ain't on me.
So, you draw the sun, and I love the prettiness of when the sun comes out. Like its rays come out, and it like rotates around the sun. Really pretty, super pretty, and everyone's alive again, and they act like nothing's happened. And the villagers see you as a little normal dog. They're like, "Hey, who let this doggy in the village?" And one thing I love is everyone gives you a different name. Everyone's like, I'll call you Snowy. Or I forget what the kid calls you. He calls you something like, I don't know, Rocky or something. I can't remember.
My favorite thing is when you meet the mayor and he starts sort of doing an exposition dump. The dog just curls up and lies down on the ground like it's going to sleep.
Is Mr. Orange the mayor?
Yes.
I like Mr. Orange. And everyone
He has
has
a big
like
orange on his head.
different kind of, everyone kind of has weird vegetable theming to them and stuff. The character design is very wacky, I would say, and I like it. I like the character design in this game, especially the guy who at the dojo whose head is upside down and rotates sometimes. Mm-hmm. That guy's great. So, Mr. Orange doesn't do his dance anymore because all the trees are withered in the town, and then if you try to leave the town, unfortunately, there's a big rock in the way. So that this merchant's like, "Oh, go wake up the great warrior Susano. He'll be able to break this rock." And you have to like headbutt Susano, who is snoring in bed in the middle of the day. You have to headbutt him 50 times to get him up, and then he's like, all right, I guess I'll train first before I break that rock, because that rock looks pretty big, so I gotta practice. And then he goes to his practice area, and he does nap. And you have to, like, help him, because he's actually a terrible warrior, although he is the great-grandson of Nagi, the fierce warrior who saved the village, but he's a fail son, so he does not do anything. Susano is also a Persona summon, I believe. Or Shin Megami Tensei.
That sounds
demon.
familiar.
Yeah. And I love, so he does these like really flashy anime style attacks that don't do anything because he has a stupid wooden sword. But as Amaterasu, you can help him with power slashes. So he looks like he's an incredible warrior, and that's how he breaks the rock to get out of the village. It's wonderful. I love this stuff.
And then he's like, I did it. Amazing.
I guess
I'm
I am
so
a big
cool.
hero.
Yeah. Who knew?
And as you're leaving, Sakuya says, "Hey, I'm not going to be around much longer." She sounds like my grandmother, who would start saying that in, like at her age 50 and then live till 96 or something. 94.
I guess I'll just go die.
And so she says, to help bring me back power, I need you to find 2 guardian saplings and use your abilities to bring them back to life. Except you don't have that ability yet. So you go out and find one in this field that's full of purple cursingness, like this bad, smoky curse gas that you can't, if you try to walk into, I thought there was a point in this game, we'll get to in a second, where you had to walk through the purple gas to do something, but Jim's like, no, John.
Maybe there is.
You don't have to do that.
Oh, in this chunker, you mean?
Yeah, in this chunker.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that in a second. So apparently you don't have to. And you go to, so this is Shinshu Field, like the big Hyrule Field kind of area. It's sort of I think it's like the central hub of the game. I'm not 100% sure. And then you go to Hana Valley over to the side. And because there's maybe another sapling there that you could bloom, and you find this like grove with a ball you can push, and then you try to make the sun happen because there's a whole wall painting about it, but it doesn't help. There's something that needs something
Don't
more.
help. Mm-hmm.
So, well, actually, to get that crystal sphere, first you go to a cave, and the cave does have a bear sleeping on the sphere with a little
Love
leaf on
Sleepy
its head.
Bear.
It's so good.
Sleepy Bear. And Susano's like, you're in my practice training ground. And then you help Susano attack that poor little bear, and it does fall off its crystal. The bear loves standing on spheres.
Yeah, that's funny. Have you guys given him a new sphere yet?
No, not yet.
You
I did talk to him.
you can do that in the forest. We can talk about it later.
So you help Susano fight the bear, and then you go you solve the puzzle, put light on the sapling, and it grows a little bit, but it's still withered. But then you look up. Oh, there's another constellation. It's the monkey god Sakigami. And the monkey gives you...
I tried to draw
bloom.
this sun here approximately 50 times before before I did the whole bear thing. I was like, oh, I know how to do this puzzle. And then I was... but you have to do the bear thing first, or else drawing the sun will not work.
Yeah, because it's got to go through that prism of the crystal sphere.
No, like prism, yeah.
Yeah. So you then learn the ability Bloom, which I think is one of the more fun. There's a couple of fun mechanics in this game. One of them is making every single plant bloom in this game. Mm-hmm. I love it. It's so pretty and fun. And you get a little bit of praise.
Of all of the like, what do they call them? Divine brush abilities that I've gotten so far, I find just the basic slash to be the most frustrating.
Really?
Because I seem to always do, because the camera has to be like correctly placed for it to work. Like it's something weird about the enemy's hit boxes. So like when they're not facing me, and I try to use the slash, even though they're stunned, it doesn't work.
I kind of wish it let you put them in on that little touchpad. The useless PS5 touchpad.
Right, yeah.
It does not.
That would be cool, actually. If you could just finger draw.
Yeah. That's how the Wii one works that way, where you draw it with the Wiimote, and that's the one good part of the Wii version. So, and I don't think you can use the Switch. I feel like the Switch doesn't have touchscreen ability to do that. I can't remember. I have the Switch version. I should check it out. So you draw a circle around this guardian tree, and it blooms and it blossoms, growing grass everywhere in like a flood of grass growth, and it pushes the cursed zones back. And I love those. I love watching everything in the world bloom. It's a fun little cutscene. You get to see it a gajillion times because there's a bunch of these trees you got to find. That's kind of the point of the game.
But they're pretty. They're beautiful flowers. Also, Amaterasu, when she runs, the faster you go, flowers start trailing out behind you when you're running across the field. It's great.
It is great.
I want that. Why can't flowers bloom in my footsteps?
Yeah. Instead of withering.
Yeah.
So now you have access to the whole... Oh, actually, no, you don't. Now you have access to the guardian sapling in the middle of Shinshu Field, and you grow that back, and it blooms everything, and now you have access to the whole of Shinshu Field. And it's like, okay, before we go talk to Sakuya again, why don't you go explore a bit? And there's a few things you can check out. What did you check out in Shinshu Field? There's a bunch of things.
I checked out the bomb maker's house.
Yeah, Tama.
Yeah,
Pyrotechnic Master Tama.
Yep, he's a pyro freak. and he's trying to make his ultimate bomb, but can't quite get it to work. But he has his formula up on the wall, which is just a big cartoon-looking bomb. So it's a circle with a wick in it, and if as Amaretsu you draw the bomb, it does blow up everything all around it.
And you help him do his fireworks, and it's real pretty.
It is. You get a whole fireworks show. It's great. And then after that, you have the ability to make a bomb wherever you want in the world. You can do it during combat to cause sort of damage to your enemies. You can also do it to blow up cracks in walls and things like that and access
I've never heard of this in a game before. Blowing up walls with a bomb? Huh. But I do like I think of all the celestial creatures, the one that gives you the bomb ability is my favorite. It's a little boar, and it does introduce itself riding in on a bomb with all its little boar, little piglets around. Oh, it's so cute! Oh, also speaking of things that make me go like and make annoying sounds like that, you can feed animals. That's another mechanic to get praise, which is like your XP. You can bloom trees, and there's 4 different types of food, and you can feed food to all the little animals around the world.
It's so cute and fun.
You hear them like make little eating sounds, like, or like peck 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 peck, or like nom 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 nom. All it's a mukbang, animal furry
this is a game that we're
mukbang.
playing for the Square Race podcast.
Yeah.
It's
Matthew's-
great, Matt.
I love it. I really do. Like, that stuff delights me, except that cutscene literally will go on for 3 minutes unless you skip it. So I recommend. And I feel like you did on the PS2 version, it did not have the skip ability. So it was
that would be insufferable.
Yeah.
See, Matt, instead of like lamenting what you can't skip, you should be celebrating what you can skip.
Yeah, skipping the original game did not let you skip cutscenes or anything, or like even advance, because most of the dialogue now you can advance through, but in the original version you couldn't. But unfortunately, in cutscenes you cannot advance through the dialogue because it's timed to the animation, so that sucks. Yeah. I do find the game is way too talky. It's like, remember Navi in Ocarina of Time, but like 3 or 4 times as bad, like interrupting you all the time, except it's a little wandering artist wearing a bug hat, and everyone thinks that artist is a bug, and I love it. So, what else did you all find in Shinshu Field? There's like 8 different things, but we need to talk about 4 of them. We talked about 1.
I talked about 1 already. Someone else talk about 1.
There's a dojo.
I went to a fireworks stand.
That's the one I talked about.
Well, that's the only one that matters.
There's a dojo. You can use your yen that you discover throughout, and by defeating monsters, to learn new moves from Onigiri Sensei. I recommend you do
buy
that.
A dodge, which is great.
Yeah, dodge is cool.
It makes the game much better the more moves you have. I'm glad
I bought 2 moves from him. I don't remember the other one was. Maybe it was like a combo extension?
Yeah, one's a combo extension. I bought all of them. I can't remember what the third one is. You only get like 3 at the start, I think. And you also find...
Is it a block?
Yes. Well, no, you get that when you get your first divine instrument, because then you can use that sun shield as a shield. That's where you get block. Oh, but maybe, I don't know. There's some other stuff you can do. You find a water entrance to Agata Forest, but if you try to go that way, you can't swim for very long because you're the sun god, I guess, and it does extinguish your fire. So that's not a way to go. And you also find the Moon Cave Shrine, where the shrine host, Mika, gives you a list of special monsters to fight. I've only found 1 so far. And also there's like a guy who needs a traveler's charm. There's a wall you can bomb and there's someone hiding behind it. There's these gates you can go through. And if you do that, you get some XP in the form of praise. And it blooms and adds like more animals and stuff. So go through all those gates. It's just a easy fight through that. I find the combat is not hard, which I like.
Yeah, I like how easy it is.
So, you go back to Kamiki Village. Everyone is celebrating. I guess because things are blooming again. But this one guy tells you, hey, there's still 15 withered trees in this town. Why don't you go find every single one of them? And then Mr. Orange will be so happy.
They're pretty easy
So you
to
go
find.
do that. Yeah, they're all pretty easy to find. And Mr. Orange does his special dance that you can help with your celestial brush. And that's a lot of fun. He does like a point, and then
great.
things bloom.
I
And he points another way.
It. I liked it the first time. I liked it the second time. I liked it the third time. I loved it. I loved
dance
it. What I
never
didn't
gets
love is
old.
that my circles were bad.
Yeah.
So this is
And
the
I
part
was
where
like,
you
I
have to
did
redo
the
it.
circle around the thing. What's wrong with it? Nope. Just
You have to start from the beginning, and they scold you too.
they do. They yell at you when you fuck things up. I mean, the first time there wasn't even a prompt. I was just like, oh, he's just doing stuff. Okay, this is a cutscene. Oh wait, that looks like I should be doing something. Oh, I should hit the. Oh no, it's over.
Yeah, I ran out of time. That's how I ran out of. That's how I failed it. I failed it once, and that's
Yeah,
how I did
me
it.
too.
Was I didn't. It timed out, and I didn't know I was supposed to be.
Yeah,
doing
you
anything.
Yeah,
have to
that
do your
happened to me
circle
too.
pretty fast. So
Hope you
there
like this
is
dance.
there is.
I
then you
did
look
like
up,
the dance, though. It's good.
Yeah, it was great. It's beautiful. There is another monkey. It is the 2 out of 3 of the, I think, the nature monkeys that you find, and this is Hasagumi. And Hasagumi gives you the water lily power, which makes you draw lily pads on the water so that you can progress. So you use that to get to an island where there's a treasure. There's another island behind that island that you can use water lily pads to get to. At night, you'll see a glowing patch of grass, and then you can dig that up to get one of, I think, like 50 clovers hidden in the game. And you have to make those bloom as well. So look for glowing patches of grass.
I like the clovers because they give you 5 XP, which God knows you need that 5 XP so bad.
And,
You know, between the feeding the animals for 9 XP and the fucking... all the shit that you do is worthless.
No, it's great. It helps you extend your life bar and your ink powers and your ink duration.
I know
or
what it
something. I
does,
forgot what
John.
the other 2 are. Oh, okay. Your astral pouch.
Your astral
Which is-
pouch, because it wouldn't be a Zelda game if they didn't make you buy a bigger wallet.
So the astral pouch gives you extra continues, basically. It
Who is
brings you back
Zelda
to
in
life.
this game? Is it the Peach Goddess?
Yeah, I think Sakuya is Zelda. I think, unless there might be another one, but I feel like it's Sakuya. So now that you've saved the village, you can go to Agata Forest, which is super cursed. Like you can barely walk anywhere. And I made the same mistake.
Ooh,
I think
you get there by learning how to make lily pads, and that's fun. Mm-hmm. Did you mention that?
And yep,
You learn how to paint lily pads on the water.
He did.
yeah. So I made the same mistake 3 times because you find the fortune teller lady. She
Classic
tells you to
Matt.
go. you go to a cave. She's like, you need to go to a cave. And then I saw above where her house was, there's another cave up, but it's in the curse zone. So I've played this game 3 times. Every single time I think, oh, I have to like run through the curse zone to get to that cave. That's not
That's
what
what
you
I
have
thought.
to do.
It
It's
kills
not
you.
what you do. There's Jim told me, no, Johnny, there's a little path that goes to a waterfall around the lake. Go that way, not through the curse zone, and then you find a guardian sapling, which lets you access all of Agata Forest. And there's also an extra divine instrument, some big balls that you can use. And so there's a bunch of weapons in this game you can set as primary or secondary. They
Explain
each have
how
different attacks.
wolves use weapon.
Wolf
Woof.
uses using magic
Woof.
or its mouth. Wolf uses magic or mouth. There's a woof button. I haven't
Does
found a
it
use
use
for the woof
its-
button.
Does it use its mouth to attack? I thought that it hit them with its thing on its back. It does.
Yeah, I guess. Okay, I was thinking of something else.
And then the
So
other
it uses,
thing
like,
is
magic.
this gives you a second sub weapon, which is basically
Yeah.
a gun. Now you can shoot things and bite them.
Or a shield.
Yeah,
if
you can
equip-
swap them
yeah.
and use the beads is your main, which I have not tried, and then the other one becomes a shield.
Has anyone used the woof button, which is circle?
I like
on
to woof at
PS5?
everything.
Yeah, I woof around a little bit sometimes.
Does it do anything?
Woof.
No.
You can also bite everyone.
Yeah, I haven't tried
And
that.
I like that. I've bit a couple of people. Isun got mad at me for biting the sleepy bear and said that was animal abuse.
Oh.
I was doing there's like 15 turnips you have to dig up, and then the game was like, you can just use your fucking celestial slash on this lady so that she leaves you alone. And I was like, sweet. And then I did it to her 3 times, and Isun was like, whoa!
You just need to do it once to
You
delay
don't,
her.
though. She only stays down for a minute, and then she's right back at you, and she only has to hit you
Well,
one time.
but maybe you're not supposed to keep doing it in a row or something. You're
I
just
did it without using that on her at all. I can't believe you guys, you monsters.
It's way easier if you don't.
What
don't
did you
use
get
that.
for it? I don't really want to do it.
I think you just get some praise, and
Yeah,
you,
you
need
get
to, you
praise.
need to do it later. It's for something later in the game. I'm sorry. It's something in the next chunker, actually. So, where were we? Oh, yeah, so you find that guardian tree, you find the divine instruments, you get out, and then fancy Frenchman Waka shows up, who sees you as Amaterasu, sees your red marking. Normally, people don't see your red marking. And fights you.
This
He's
guy's cool.
Yeah, he's like, oui, I just wanted to see how strong you were. He was like coming from the capital, I guess, to see.
He has
This
this
is-
like flute.
this is chic.
He has this flute, and then the flute collapses, and he makes a motion, and a sword appears.
Yeah.
He also does a great jump from the treetops and then lands on the water and just stands
He's walking on
it.
the water. Yeah.
He's
a-
Sheik from Ocarina of Time.
Yep. Pretty much. You also find a boy. His name is Kokari, who has lost his dog, Umi, because Umi is stuck in a temple. So he's out there fishing, and you're like, why would you be fishing when you're looking for your dog? He's like, oh, because there's a key to the temple, and I got so scared I dropped it in the water. I'm trying to find it with my fishing rod.
Ugh. Who hated this fucking fishing mini game? It was
I liked it. Oh my
garbage.
gosh. I did it voluntarily so many times.
Stupid, idiot, garbage game
I
for
liked
dumb
it.
people that
No
I hate.
way.
Vanessa, what did you think?
Liked it.
I did not make it this far in this game, actually. I fully admit to it. I didn't
Wow.
do it, couldn't do it.
I neglected my
Well, we
job.
did
do,
six
you,
days.
do you normally like a fishing minigame, Vanessa?
I love it.
This is a good fishing
Yeah, this
game.
one's cool.
It's almost-
This one's cool. We'll talk about it in John's corner.
Yeah,
but,
it is a bullshit
uh,
minigame.
Yeah.
It's bullshit for sure.
And a minigame.
And this kid's annoying. Anyway, eventually you get a big old fish and it coughs up the key that you need to get to the ruins that apparently you have to go to save the dog of this boy that you've just learned about.
Yeah, you can find his dad. There's a whole bunch of other stuff you can do. And like it does say that there's treasure chests that are hidden in these buds, so you can you can bloom the buds to open the chests, and I like that mechanic. There's some spheres I guess you can give to the sleepy bear, but I didn't bother doing that yet.
Yeah, there's a big like acorn that's on one of the hills in the forest, and it takes forever and it's very frustrating pushing this big acorn. You have to push it all the way up like 2 hills and a path to get to the bear. But if you actually do get it to the bear, he'll be so happy and he'll give you a bunch of praise that you gave him a new sphere to stand
Oh
on.
boy, I bet it's fucking like 17 praise.
Yeah, the game is a little stingy with the praise.
Yeah. So you go find the dog. So after I think maybe my favorite moment in this chunker, after you fish up the key, the boy holds the key. I was like, okay, so are we going to the temple? And the boy's like, I need to go to the temple, but he doesn't go to the temple. And it seems like
Yeah.
you need to take that key. So you use your bite to grab the key. And then the boy's running after you, and you have to run away from the boy carrying the key all the way to the... I thought you had to hold down the button. You do not. You can just let go of the button and then just play.
That's what I thought too, yeah, because
Yeah.
I accidentally let my finger slip and I was still holding it. So.
Yeah. So just
I lost
FYI,
it at one point, and I wasn't sure how. I don't know when I dropped it.
if
That
you
happened to
lose
me,
it,
too.
it goes back to the boy, so
Yep.
it's not too bad.
Well, he has to pick it up. If you drop it, it stays where you dropped it, and if you get to it first, you can just pick it back up.
Oh, I never
okay.
saw him leave that island.
Oh, well,
He
I
does,
guess
he
I dropped it near the island, and he picked it up.
So did I.
Yeah.
So did I, yeah.
So, and yeah, he's chasing you. He wants that thing. And you go to the door, you plunk it in there, the door opens. Also, Susano runs inside. I forget about what Susano does here. He just blusters, as usual.
He's trying to get to the pass.
He's
That's right.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
practicing a secret technique, but he's not even going to bother
Yeah.
doing that until the pass opens. So you have to
Yeah.
wait for the pass to open and then go back to him, I guess.
Right. So,
I hate those parts.
Tsuta
I don't like
Ruins.
Susanna. I am not a big fan of the fucking. Oh,
I
he's.
love it.
I just.
He's
It
so
just
fun.
feels like such a fucking slog.
I don't know. I love the whole helping him think he's powerful thing.
I
and
like
you
the
know
whole
it's building
Susano
up.
thing. Yeah, I bet that's going to pay off, and he's
Yeah.
going to be super fucking awesome at the end. Like, that makes me happy.
So you get to the ruins. There's a fun mechanic where a door is blocked, and it's like a shortcut back. You can't get to it from one side, but from the other side, that you see this block blocking the door. That's like, I'm Blockhead. You'll never get past me because you'll never realize that I have vulnerable secret points that start glowing.
I like how he calls himself. He's like, I'm completely invincible unless you can find my 2 weak points.
Yeah. You do murder this man. Like, he
Yep.
is like. He's like, I'm dying when you hit him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But you have to, like, you headbutt him, right?
You
And
dot
then,
those 2
like,
points. You have to dot those.
Yeah,
2.
and then you put a little dot on those 2 points. I failed this the first time because, like, I guess I didn't. Because they fade really
yes.
quickly. They don't stay
Yeah.
there.
You have to
Yeah,
be pretty
I just-
precise.
Yeah.
So you go through, there's some puzzles you have to figure out. There's an evil door that needs a key, and I love the evil door because it's so afraid of the key that you bring to it. It's
Yeah.
like trying to get away, but it can't.
The evil door felt like something out of Shadows of the Damned.
Oh, that's great.
It was a very Shadows of the Damned door.
Is that a game? Is that weird hell game? with,
Shadows of
like,
the Damned is that weird hell
Tsuta
game made by the
51?
guy made by Tsuta, yeah.
Yeah.
That game's weird. It has more dick jokes per
Is that Bruce
second
Campbell?
than any game should be.
Is that Bruce
No,
Campbell?
it's not.
Oh,
No.
he's in one of those kind of weird horror games.
The main character in
Isn't
that
he in
game's
the
name is
Chainsaw one?
Chainsaw Lollipop?
No.
Lollipop Chainsaw.
No. There's.
Oh yeah. Oh, the character from Shadows of the Damned. You mean?
No,
there's
Bruce
a
Campbell's
black
in
and-
one of those games.
Oh, I don't think it's
Of that
that
era.
one. The main character of that game, his name is Garcia, middle name fucking, last name Hotspur.
Oh yeah, Garcia
It's so
fucking
silly.
Hot. I've never played
Garcia fucking Hotspur. Oh, I've played through it once. It's not bad.
it. Okay.
Very of that era, but
Yeah.
it's pretty fun.
So you find another constellation, Tsutagami. It's the last of the like nature monkeys.
I like these guys. They're like real. They look like are they monkeys? They
Yeah.
look like bears.
They're little monkeys.
They look like Mike Myers and Cat in the Hat makeup.
So you it teaches you Konohana Blossom, which I love this ability to climb. The only thing is that sometimes the camera gets in the way of this one. Basically, you have to climb by looking up at these blooming flowers and then drawing a line
Yeah.
from the flower to Amaterasu.
It just
The
didn't seem to
bullshit-
pick it up a
the-
lot. I had a lot of
the
problems.
bullshit
of-
mini game that's tied to this ability. Fuck that game forever.
Is there another? I haven't got to that.
The one that happens right after this,
I don't think I've done that.
the log one.
Oh,
You didn't do the
Oh,
where
well,
like where Susano was rushing down the log and you had to use this ability to
I don't think so.
draw a line
I
from
haven't done
flowers
this. This is
to the
next
log
chunker.
to slow the log down. This is
That's-
next chunker?
yeah, that's next chunker.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
all right.
So
That one sucks. Spoiler alert.
You climb up some mushrooms and some lilies, and you get to the top, and then you find the biggest bloom of them all. Actually, you do fight those bud monsters that
look
are
who's
fun.
back.
They have a little sphere inside.
I was here the whole time.
I accidentally skipped this cutscene of the walking up to the flower.
I
Hit
didn't
the wrong
accidentally
button.
skip it. I just skipped it.
But the flower they think is a pretty flower they're going to bloom, but then it opens up and turns out to be a spider flower. And this is the first real boss fight of the game.
It is.
This Spider Queen spooky design.
Yeah, you don't like spiders, so that's part of
I
it.
don't like spiders, yeah, but like the ends of the spider legs have hands on them,
Oh,
5-fingered hands at the end of the legs. A very spooky like ring girl face. You know what I mean, with the like stringy black hair.
And when you open up the bud, there's eyeballs inside.
Yes, there's
Oh.
like a what do you call it? Like it looks like a seed pod, but at the end of the pods are eyeballs.
And so you have to use the lily power to grab hooks at the back of this boss and then get 2 of them to open it and then kill some of the eyes and do that 3 or 4 times.
Were you able to open this thing's back while it was not stunned?
Yes.
I was able to too, and I felt so accomplished that I was able to just do it. Because otherwise, like this boss has maybe 4 moves that it just does over and over again, and if you can trigger the moves in the correct sequence, after the sequence is over, a big like blossom. The Spider Queen will hold up a blossom, and if you use the bloom power on that blossom, it stuns her.
Ooh.
And so that way you can open up her things really easily and then kill the eyeballs inside.
I've never even got her. She never even hit me. I was because
She didn't hit me either.
You can just do the hooks without just at the start of the fight. If you just
You
position
don't
to the
need
back.
to do it. You don't need to wait. But if you're getting frustrated like I was like, I must have to do something. So I waited for her moves to cycle, and eventually she like pulls this little blossom up, and if you bloom it, it like knocks a bunch of toxic stuff on her, and she gets stunned, and then you can really while she's not moving, you can just do the lines and then open up her body.
Vanessa, did you do it the
Vanessa
fast
hasn't
way
played
or
this
the
yet.
long way? Oh, right.
I
she hasn't
have
it.
told you many, many
Have you-
times I only made it to entering
Sorry.
the forest.
I did not
which
realize.
is where we said we were going to play to.
Man, that is where we. Ooh.
But hey, I said if Matthew doesn't get that far, we can just play to the start of the forest.
That's
But
right.
Matthew
And
went and
Matthew
got
got
that
that
far.
far.
Yeah, so I was like, okay, I'll do the whole chunk.
Vanessa
of
was the one that was like, we're playing to the forest boss. That's what Johnny wants to do. And then once I got there, she was like, I'm not going to make it there today.
I was busy drinking too much raspberry cider.
Real frustrating.
That's a good excuse,
Thank
and
you.
I love it. All right, so after you defeat that, the petal opens up one more time and does reveal a little puppy, a little sleepy dog,
Just a
and the
puppy
dog
there.
is just fine, just sleeping.
And it
And
gives you
that
a great
is-
cutscene that's like a big tapestry that's like tells you what happens. You found a weapon. The doggo was there. And then it's like, do you want to save? And that's as far as I played.
Yeah, that's fine. We'll talk about what happens next time on Square Roots. Before that, though, oh yeah, and also our next goal is to complete the next big dungeon, the Gale Shrine.
Ooh.
The Gale Shrine.
Yeah. How many episodes do you think this series will be?
5
John?
or 6. It's not that long. It's not like Xenogears or
Yeah.
Final Fantasy.
Are we going to put that new poll up?
Yeah,
we should.
we can put a new poll up tomorrow if you want.
What's the theme, Johnny?
The theme is one game RPGs, so ones that don't
One-off
have not
RPGs.
part of a sequel.
Single entry
One-offs.
RPGs.
So
One hit wonders.
I'm choosing Live Alive. Live Alive.
Live alive. Live
Live.
alive.
Live Alive.
Leve.
What is
Leve.
what's Jim choosing?
I'm choosing Moon.
Ooh.
The recently released, what was it, like 90 something?
Yeah, they
RPG
finally made a
that
translation.
finally made a US translation, and it got released on the Switch, and it's supposed to be really good. I was actually reading about it, and sorry, I'm going to talk this game up because I don't know that it's widely known, but apparently the protagonist of the game is someone who's cleaning up
Space station?
after. Yeah, I think so. Someone who's like a secondary character in another RPG who's cleaning up after the main character of
sounds
like
amazing.
a different JRPG. Yeah, and apparently it plays a lot with like JRPG tropes and cliches. It sounds awesome.
Yeah, that sounds great. Live Alive is the remake is done by the Octopath Traveler people, and it's like 6 or 7 different stories, and each one's kind of their own thing.
That's cool.
Yeah. Vanessa, what are you? What do you
I'm
wanna do?
choosing The World Ends With You.
Oh, wow. But there's a sequel.
Is there?
Is it out?
Yes. Yeah, it's on Switch.
Oh, then that is
Let's
not
see.
gonna work.
I thought that was a remake of.
I thought that was a sequel. Let me double check. I'm looking now.
Yeah, look it up.
Yeah, look it up.
It's not out.
A sequel game, Neo, was announced in 2020 and released in 2021 on Switch.
Oh,
Neo,
no.
The World Ends With You.
Wow. Okay, then I will choose Infinite Undiscovery.
Wait,
All
no.
right.
Yeah.
I do
That one's
have
gonna
a
win.
sealed in box episode that I kind of want to do. Look at Jim's background. The cat's dragging her butt on the floor.
Oh man.
So
Keep that in.
yeah. Infinite Undiscovery. I have a sealed in box version of it that I kind of want to give away as a contest if we do play
Oh, that'd be cool.
Infinite Undiscovery.
How
Y'all know
how can we
that
play
game's
that
supposed
game?
to be fucking terrible, though, right? Like,
I've
y'all know
played
that?
it. Matt.
Dinner.
Dinner. Yeah, it's worth it for the
Dinner.
dinner dance. What platform
Only
is that game available
360,
on?
I think. And
Oh,
is it backwards
shit.
compatible? Let me see if it's backwards
I'm
compatible.
99% sure it's backwards compatible. I remember seeing it on there.
Is in. That's like the number one search. Is it backwards? You just have to it's not available digitally, but yes. But it is backwards compatible.
What does that mean? It's not available digitally. Like I can't buy it and download it?
I don't
Yes,
want
Jim,
to
that's what
suggest
that
a
means.
game that is not available digitally. You know what?
It's
I
$11
chose The
on
World Ends
Amazon.
With You. I said I was going to choose it weeks
That's
ago, and
cheaper
then
than-
Johnny drops this.
I don't have a
shock
disk
on
drive
me.
on my
I never
Xbox,
saw
then.
you say that.
It's
so
okay
that's-
to just say we don't know yet, because I don't know what
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, think about it.
I
Think
think I
about
said
it.
something,
Yeah.
but
Moon and Live a Live for sure.
Yes.
I was looking at Rhapsody of Fate or something like
Oh
that.
yeah,
but-
Rhapsody. Yeah,
Doesn't
I like.
really-
Didn't
It's
someone
a-
say something about Eternal Sonata or one of those
Yeah.
games?
It doesn't.
Rhapsody's the musical RPG.
Rhapsody.
It has actual songs,
Oh, maybe that's not the one I was looking at.
That sounds great.
and you want to do Eternal Sonata.
No, I want to do Skies of Arcadia.
Oh, but that's not available anywhere either.
Yeah, but what if we just play it anyway?
Vanessa won't do that.
That's
so
right.
We gotta
You're right.
get a game. Vanessa plays.
I can always have some time off.
Nope.
Ah,
All right, we'll figure it out later.
I
yeah.
choose Cyberpunk 2077.
I would love to play that game for the show.
Did.
Well,
Oh yeah, we did it. We
Well,
did a
we
bonus on it.
did
Cannot
a
keep
bonus.
taking bonus episodes and then making them into series. That is illegal.
so we'll figure something out. Vanessa, have 2 more drinks and decide. And the bullshit minigame corner is fishing. I liked the fishing game once I figured out that the meter was based on pulling because I skipped the instructions accidentally. Because I pressed the
I did it
button
too.
instead of the. So you have
It
to.
wants you to scroll to the right, but if you just hit X, then it exits
Yes,
out of
that's
the
what I did.
tutorial.
So there is a bullshit minigame fishing. I thought it was great. I
Hated
would
it.
Play
Yeah.
more of that.
Yeah, the way that it works is you can, like, the pole is stationary on land. The boy is holding it. You can pan the camera around, and you need to draw a line from the tip of the pole, or from the fish to the pole, right?
From the pole to the fish.
Okay, from the tip of the pole to the fish in the water.
I did it a million times, and it never worked. It didn't work.
Yeah, a lot of times it doesn't work, but I think it's a real simple mini game.
Hated it.
And when you do actually hook a fish, you just have to hold the left analog stick in the opposite direction that it's struggling in.
Yeah.
And then do that until you see a button prompt. And you hit the button prompt and he flings the fish or whatever it is out of the water. You hit L1, you do the strike on it, and then you're able to keep it. But if you don't do the strike, it just goes back in the water. That confused me.
Mm-hmm. Me too, the first time.
You have to do the whole thing again, yeah.
I choose the last remnant.
Oh, wow.
Oh, good one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I finally made my choice.
Yay!
Oh, John, there's another mini game, the turnip digging?
Yes, the turnip digging. We did talk about that a little bit. Once I realized that you could use your power to attack that poor woman, just steal her turnips, it's way easier than if you try to do it
I never
without.
did that.
Matthew and I
Neither.
did, because we're monsters.
You're monsters.
Yep. All right, that's it. Roundly for or squarely against? Matthew, let's start with you. What are you roundly for or squarely against? Vanessa, let's start with you. What are you roundly
excuse
for?
me. No,
or
thank
squarely-
you.
Oh.
I will speak.
You weren't speaking.
When?
That's why I moved on.
I was
Yeah.
sighing. I'm allowed to take my time. I squarely against all the. Listen, the cutscenes are long, and there's too many. And the worst part is that they're not good or important or like fun. They're just most of the time people repeating the same thing over and over again, like you're a 5-year-old watching Dora the Explorer. And it's not. It's not good. It's bad, and like it really ruins the experience for me. Like in particular, I just don't have a ton of patience for this type of super slow, and the game opens up, and I'm sure hopefully it improves, but 4 hours into this game, I fucking hated it. So squarely against.
I have a question for you, Matt, because this game, like, if I had the ability to like fast forward all the text instead of only the stuff that's not story text, I feel like the pacing would be very close to a Zelda.
Yeah.
Like, is it just like sitting through the text stuff that's like most sloggy to you, or is it the combat? Or
I mean, I think I said it pretty clearly. The slog of the cutscenes and the long text scrolls are really rubbing me the wrong way. The gameplay itself seems to be pretty fine. Adding to the problems with the slow nature of this stuff is that the camera and the controls feel very sluggish to me, particularly the camera, and that really wears me down.
I feel like this game does eat a lot of my inputs. It's kind of frustrating.
Anyway, so what about you, Vanessa?
I'm roundly for the beautiful art style of this game. We talked a little bit about how it looks like a Sumi ink painting. It's beautiful. I love that when you look at the horizon, you see just like ink impressions of mountains rather than a fully rendered mountain. I like that you use the ink in combat. I like that when you're out of ink, Amaretsu gets less and less markings until she's just a white dog with no special markings at all until you get some more ink. I like drawing. I like a game where I can draw and it's about drawing. I like it. Roundly for the beautiful art. Johnny?
Art or fart?
I like the cute animals. I like the little animals, especially the boar. on its bomb and its little piglets that help it after it explodes. And I like feeding the animals so much. It's so pretty and nice. This game's great. It's just peaceful and relaxing, and I like the sense of humor and I like the style a lot. So I'm roundly for the prettiness of this game. Jim, did you go?
That's what
Not yet.
Vanessa said. You
But
just copied
I
Vanessa.
will. Oh, I'm
Copy
going to
me.
copy John. I want to echo what John said
Whoa.
because the game's real nice to look at, and it is relaxing, and it
Three's a
is
crowd, Jim.
fun, and I think I like the difficulty level of it. Nothing ever felt too hard, even though the drawing stuff can be frustrating when it doesn't work the way you think it should. But overall, I'm having a good time with this game so far. Well,
Well,
I think that's it for this episode. Let's give a quick plug to our Patreon. Does anybody want to do that?
Jim does.
That'd be fun.
Jim, what's our Patreon?
I'll do it.
about?
I'll do it. We have a Patreon.
Skies of Arcadia.
Yeah, we've been talking about votes. If you would like to have a say in what game we play for the next episode of the show, you need to be a patron at the $5 level. That gives you access to the ability to vote, as well as all of our sweet content backlog. If you are a patron at the $3 level, you still get access to all that sweet content, just no ability to vote. So if you would like to become a patron, you can do so at Square Roots Podcast. No, that's our email address. You can do so at patreon.com/Square Roots Podcast. Another benefit of becoming one of our much beloved patrons is we like to personally thank a number of them at the end of each show. I'm going to kick us off this week by thanking Dovahkiin's Discount Dragon Barn, friend of DeSoto Aaron O'Toole, Hang It Up, Joshua W. Bronson, is dreaming of a Dr. Steven Stone 5-hander to completion, Jason Timms, Tracy, William Westgard, Mostly Rational Person, Chief Hazard, Built Jim Banks, Oh, You Don't Have the Right, Saving Sid's Nuts, and Vanessa for President.
hang it up. I would like to thank Vanessa's Gold, Taco Bell, PS5, Grayson, Do Good Recklessly, Ari Copavara, Anthony Cruz, CharityWater.org, Sexy Grandma's Boy Toy is, drumroll, Grey Code. You're the lucky winner this week. Isaac Wright, Justin Rash, Alexander Jokic, and Aaron Zelda 2 is underrated little.
I'd like to thank My Battery's Low, Hexagon, Armin Hammer, Hudson Roth, Andy Smith, Lexa Varial, Amanda Douglas, Christian Go, Sergeant Spaghetti, Chris Ryan, Stephen Paget, Joseph, and Wash in the Wind. What about Matthew?
I'd like to thank Andy M., Knopford, Googly Eyes, Mary, Queen of Scoffs, D. Jethro, Ron, Sean Gonzalez, Makwabug, Epaka, Dr. Fine, say everyone's name, Teen, Wolfhard Bumpkins, Tweedledee's Nuts, and Andy Best.
All right, everyone, that's it for this episode of Square Roots. If you'd like to have an email read on the air, you can email us at squarerootspodcast@gmail.com. Come join our Facebook group, the Square Roots Podcast Group for smart, cool, very attractive people, or you can find us on Twitter at Square Roots Pod, not Fart Roots Pod, like it says in the notes.
Please rate, review, and subscribe on iTunes, Ghana, or wherever you listen to podcasts. And thanks to Stephen Morris for our theme. You can find Stephen on Twitter as Beige on Beige and on YouTube. Links in the show notes. And sorry again for making everyone record twice.
Spotify listeners know that they can go elsewhere for our back catalog.
Wow.
All right, everyone, for Square Roots, I'm Jim Banks.
I'm Matthew Burbzant.
I'm Burpee Brandon.
And I'm Vanessa, and I got canceled tonight, and I still don't know why.
Bye.
Bye.